Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are doing well. This is your chemistry lecture, and today we are going to discuss the effects of air pollutants and also about acid rain. We have discussed the effects of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Today we will discuss the effects of sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, hydrocarbons, and methane. Effects of ozone are not included in your syllabus, so you don't have to learn those. So, sulfur dioxide, it irritates the eyes and lungs and cause breathing difficulties. High levels lead to inflammation of the lungs, and this is called bronchitis. Reacts with water. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water in the atmosphere to form acid rain, which corrodes, harms aquatic life and plants. We'll discuss the effects of acid rain in details. So these are the effects of sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen, because both these oxides contribute in the formation of acid rain. Next is unburnt hydrocarbons cause cancer, that is carcinogenic, and react with nitrogen oxides to form ozone. Methane is greenhouse gas which causes global warming, and in previous lecture we have discussed about greenhouse gases in details. So next is, what is acid rain? Acid rain is formed when acidic air pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and sometimes carbon dioxide as well react with water in the atmosphere. So the reaction for this formation of acid rain can be reaction of any oxide, like sulfur dioxide react with water to form sulfuric acid. It is sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Oxides of sulfur will form sulfuric acid. Oxides of nitrogen will form nitric acid, and oxides of carbon will form carbonic acid. Right? So different types of oxide that make the acid rain are sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. As you can see in this diagram, that oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur are released as air pollutants, and these air pollutants will react with water that is already present, and they will form sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and this is called acid rain. When the pH of rain water is below 4, that is called acid rain. So sulfuric acid is formed. These are some of the reactions that are involved in the formation of acid rain. Sulfur reacts with oxygen, that will form sulfur dioxide, that is an air pollutant. Now this sulfur dioxide will react with water to form sulfuric acid, and this sulfuric acid will make the rainwater acidic rain. In the presence of oxygen in air, sulfuric acid is oxidized to sulfuric acid. When sulfur dioxide react with water, the first reaction involved is sulfur dioxide react with water to give sulfuric acid, that is H2SO3, right? That is sulfuric acid. This sulfuric acid react with the oxygen that is present in atmosphere and will be converted to sulfuric acid. For the second oxide, that is oxides of nitrogen, It also causes acid rain. In the presence of oxygen and water, nitrogen oxide and nitrogen dioxide are converted to nitric acid. Reaction will be NO2 plus water, H2O and oxygen, and you will get HNO3. This is nitric acid, and this is sulfurous acid, and that will be finally converted into sulfuric acid. pH of rainwater is usually between 5 to 5.5, but when this rain will become acidic, then pH will become low. As we have discussed in chapter number 11, that was about acid and bases, that for acids, lower the pH, the stronger will be acid. Like for example, if we compare two acids, one acid has the pH value of 6 and the other will have 2. So out of these two acids, 2 will be stronger and the 6 will be weaker. So lower the pH, stronger will be acid. And in case of bases, higher the pH, stronger will be base. You have to remember this, that stronger acids have lower pH and stronger bases have higher pH. And the last reaction is about the formation of carbonic acid. Carbon dioxide, that is oxide of carbon, will react with water to produce H2CO3, carbonic acid. And the pH of acid rain will become 4 or lower than 4. Now we will discuss some effects of acid rain on buildings, plants and aquatic life. Oxides form acid rain. Oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen and oxides of carbon. We also have seen the reactions, and the pH of normal rainwater is below 7, slightly below 7. It is like 5 to 5.5, between 5 to 5.5, but the pH of acid rain is before or below 4. For normal rainwater, it is between 5 to 5.5. For acid rain, the pH is 4 or below 4. It has different effects on buildings, plants and aquatic life. As you know that oxides of different like sulfur, nitrogen are released into the atmosphere, and they react with water to form acid rain. Now this acid rain will react with metal and carbonates like marble and limestone. When this happens, metal bridges and stone buildings are damaged. If you people remember the reaction that we discussed in unit 11, that when acid react with metal, what will happen? This is the reaction that we discussed. Let's say it is sulfuric acid that react with sodium metal. Now you will get the salt of sodium plus hydrogen gas will be released. Salt of sodium will be Na2SO4 and hydrogen gas will be released, right? So this is how acids react with metals. And we also discussed the reaction of acid with metal carbonates. Metal carbonate, let's say HCl, HCl is not in acid rain. We'll discuss about sulfuric acid or HNO3. Sulfuric acid plus calcium carbonate, CaCO3. You will get salt of metal, calcium sulfate, CaSO4 plus carbon dioxide plus hydrogen gas. Clear? So these are the reactions that we have discussed of acid with metal and metal carbonates. So by these reactions, acid rain can affect the buildings or the metal bridges. Next is acid rain leaches nutrients from soil and causes plants to wither and die. When plants will not get enough nutrients, so they will not grow properly and they will die. Acid rain may also react with aluminium hydroxide in soil to produce aluminium ion, which are toxic to plants. This aluminium ion that is produced from aluminium hydroxide mainly affect the root tip of the plant. So this is how it is very toxic to plants. Next is acid rain reduces the pH of natural water bodies like lakes and streams. We know that the pH of water is neutral. It's about 7, or it can mostly be 6.5 to 8.5. But because of acid rain, the pH will be changed to 4 or below 4. The pH is changing from 6.5 to 8.5 to 4 or below 4, which is too acidic for fish and other aquatic life to survive. So this acid rain will make those aquatic animals or aquatic life die. Effect of acid rain on buildings. Taj Mahal color due to acid rain. Acid rain reacted with the marble, that is calcium carbonate, and I have told you about how the carbonates of metal will react with acid. Metal carbonate will react with acid to release metal salt, carbon dioxide and hydrogen gas. This caused damage to the wonderful structure. The reaction is calcium carbonate plus acid, that is H2SO4, and the products will be calcium sulfate plus carbon dioxide plus water. The product is water, not hydrogen gas. So this is how the acid react with metal, and you can see in this picture that how the acid rain has affected the buildings. Next is the table that is on page 395. The pH of different substances is mentioned. You have to remember the acid rain or the pH of acid rain, it is 4 or it can be below 4, and also you have to learn the table on page 394, that is about the air pollutant and their 396 air pollutants, their source and their effects. It's all for today's lecture. Allah Hafiz.